Hello everyone. In a previous video, we understood how to execute test cases and log defect during the execution if there is any. In this video, we will learn where the defect which we have logged in, where that defect have been stored. So guys, that defect will be stored under the module called defects. So whenever we log any defect, maybe during the execution, or if it's a new defect, we are not logging it during the execution, we are separately logging in. Everything will be stored under a module called defects. So defect module is something on which developer will have complete access. Developer can see those defects which have been logged by you. When we click on this defect module, you can see defect which we have recently logged in will appear over here with complete description. If you click on this defect, you will see the complete description. This is the description of defect. I can drag it. You can expand it by dragging it up and look at this description, expected result, actual result. Not only this, you will see the comment section over here. If developer wants to give his comment about this defect, he can add comment from here. So whenever he will click on add comment, his ID along with the date will appear and then he can write down the comment. For example, let's say developer want to say looking into the execution will update once it's done. Same way you can add comment. So simply you can communicate with developer through comment section. Now this is the attachment. So attachments will have the defect screenshot which we took during the execution of our test case. History will have history if there is any changes in the defect logging status. So for example here we change status from new to open. It will track it and will highlight over here. So status, first it was new and then it changed to open. It will be tracked along with the timeline. So change date is 12th January and the time is this. So guys, this is how QC ALM monitor all the activities along with the time and date. If you look at these columns over here, this is actual fixed time when developer fixed it. Assigned to, here the name of developer will appear. Closed in version, so in which version developer closed it. Date of closing. Comments, if any comment have been given by the developer. So look at this. If you click on this, comment is looking into the execution will update once it's done. Defect ID will appear automatically. Test description. These are the all parameters of test description. Test description is actually this description. Detected by, this will be the name of tester or its ID. Detected in version. So in which version this defect is detected. So detected in version and closed in version totally depends upon the priority. If the priority is high, then detected and closed should be same. If the priority is medium, then defect should be resolved in immediate version and so on. If the priority is low, then developer can choose that in which version he wants to fix it. So closed in version will give the version name over here. Detected on date. So here if you drop down, this is the date, 11th. Estimated fix, modified, if there is any modification in the status of defect or any of the parameters of defect, it will be highlighted over here. When it is planned to close, priority, how soon it should be fixed. Project will appear automatically from the backend if it is attached by the site admin. Reproducible, as we discussed in our last video, if by following the same steps developer can reproduce the defect, then we will write reproducible is yes. If not, then reproducible will be N, that is no. Severity, how severe the defect is, how much it is affecting business of client. Status, it is open, we can change status from here. Let's say now developer says I fixed it, then the status will be changed to fixed. So here it can be changed according to our defect lifecycle. This is the name of module and this is the summary. So guys, these are the parameters to define the defect. But here you have some other features too. Let's say somehow I was not able to log defect during the execution of test cases. Now after the execution I want to log defect. I do have option for that also. You can log defect directly from the defect module. So here you have that option, new defect. Guys, this is the same red head with plus sign which was there in your test lab execution module. So here you will click on this option and the same sheet will appear. Only difference is now the description is not auto populated. You have to write everything in the description from the beginning, from the scratch. So here, let's say summary is password field is accepting all cases. I want to log defect for that case. Let's say requirement of the client is that password should be Mercury in lowercase, but login module is accepting password in any case, in the uppercase, in the lowercase, if first character of the Mercury is upper. So it is accepting all the cases. Right now I'm logging defect that password is accepting all the cases. Severity is definitely high. Detected in version, so it will be guys attached from the backend by the site admin. So version number will appear from the backend over here if it is attached at the backend of ALM by site admin. Priority, how soon this defect should be fixed. So it should be fixed soon. Reproducible, yes it is. So guys, subject folder is actually coming from test plan. If you remember, we were writing down test cases under subject folder. So from subject folder, we were picking up the login 1.0. As I've told you last time that all the modules in Quality Center ALM are interrelated. So we can grab information from one module into other module. So here subject is login 1.0. Assign to, I can assign it to the developer. The name of the project will appear here and status is new. Now the thing is you have to write all test parameters from the beginning. So what comes under test parameter? So test parameter includes description that has steps, all the steps to generate this defect, expected result and actual result. Now if I talk about the snapshot, guys, you are not logging defect during the execution of test case. So definitely you need to reproduce the defect by executing it manually again. So guys, that is the difference between logging defect during the execution of test case or logging defect separately. If you're logging defect after the execution is completed, then you have to regenerate it because we have to capture screenshots, we have to write down all the details over here. So it is little more work. So always it is recommended that log defect during the execution of test cases. But anyhow, QC ALM is giving you option. Let's say if you forgot to log defect at that time, you can do it later also by going to the defect module and clicking on new defects icon. So this is the sheet we have. You can fill this complete information and submit the defect. Guys, let's say during the execution of test case, you forgot to log the defect but you took screenshots. Now you need not to go to this camera icon and capture the screenshot. You can go to attachments. You can click on attach file. It will navigate you to your operating system files. You can choose the screenshot and attach it over here. So attachments can be done by this also. So this camera icon you can use if you are executing and at the time of execution you want to capture. This you can use if you have already captured and you want to attach it. So we will click on submit and I will close it. So we have two defects over here. Guys, now we will understand how to filter the defects. You have this option called set filters. If you click on that, let's say I want to select defects on the basis of priority. So I'll click on priority. I'll go to this step over here and I can choose. I want to see all the defects whose priority is high. So I'll click on OK and OK. Look at this. After filtering, I can see only one defect whose priority is high. So you can implement condition on your search also. So guys, filters means you want to search particular item on the basis of some conditions. So here the filter is priority should be high. If you want to clear the filter, you can click on it. Or if you want to apply any other filter, you can again go to this option and here you can choose your columns. So you have all the columns over here. Let's say reproducible, severity, status, subject, summary. You can choose accordingly and you can apply filters on it. Also guys, if you want to see details of any defect, you can go to this option called defect details. Click on it. Here you can see complete details of the defect. So this icon is for that purpose. With this you can see the attachments. This icon over here is to flag for follow-up. Let's say now developer suggested you that I'm going to fix this defect later in some versions. Maybe the priority of the defect is low. So developer can suggest you that maybe I'll fix it in next month in the third release or fourth release. Now, obviously it is your job to follow up whether the defect is fixed or not. So for that you can flag this defect. So for that you can click on flag. And here's follow up why. Because developer has given you one date, you can go to next month's that date. Let's say he gave you 10th of February. So we'll choose that and here we'll say follow up with developer. You can provide name of the developer or his ID over here and click on OK. Look at this. Now this field is flagged. That means you will follow up this particular defect for its closure status. Now next is email thing. You can send emails from here to developer. Your defect has been attached and from here you can send it to your developer or your lead for review. So this is email feature which is inbuilt in your QC ALM. You need not to go to some other email services and send it. It has its inbuilt email service. So whatsoever defect you have selected, when you click on email, that defect will be attached and then you can send it to the related person. This is if you directly click on it, but if you see this is drop down box over here, send by email to, assign to, or send by email to, detected by. So you can send it to developer, you can send it to tester. So we have both options given by QCALM over here. Next one is find similar defect. Guys, similar defect means if defect is related to it, if any of the maybe summary, maybe detected by, maybe priority, severity, if there is any similarity between two defects, then you can click on it and it will tell you, see, look at this, no similar defect found. So no similar defect found to this. But let's say if we have logged similar defects, their summaries is same, their steps are same, their severity, priority, most of the things are same, then clicking on this feature will tell me that these are similar defects. Guys, it helps developers a lot because when developer is fixing any defect, first they want to fix similar defects. Sometimes they find that defects which we have logged in are duplicate and they can mark it as duplicate because they have fixed that functionality. So with this icon they can find out if there is any duplicate or similar defect so that they can fix it in that hierarchy. If in the defect you want to search for the particular text, you can go ahead and click on it, and if the text is appearing in it, it will be highlighted. So guys, this is your defect module which is accessed by both testers and developers. I hope you understood what is defect logging, where it is stored, and how we can search for a particular defect. That's all for this video. Thanks for now.